TZED Style. Hello everyone and happy afternoon. How is everyone doing? If you are writing with us and are part of the book club and doing the story, you are all doing a great job. If you are new and visiting or coming in to the book club, come on in and have fun. You will love the beautiful story we are all writing. And we are going to get started. So let me get everyone in our book. Hello, Paula. Hello, Mimi, Anna, Deidre. Hello, my bookish family. Good to see you here today. Wow, Paula, your highs went a little crazy there. Hi. Mimi said hello, Dee. And our book is called Snow Outside, Stories Inside. And there are eight of us. And while I'm writing this, I am going to let you guys know I have 4 babies done for the Subscriber Friday baby race. So we have done 3 or 4 Subscriber Fridays now, that's your day. We have done 4 brain games basically. So I am so happy to see a fun baby race game, and Miss Paula, she is the one who chose that. So if you guys have any ideas that you want to do on a Friday, email them to me. Let me know so I can rotate you on the list. So many fun things to do. All right. Ashley, Valerie. All right. If you see one of your bookish family members that are not here, tap on their door, get them in here. We can't have them late. Absent last week was Anna and Ashley for quite a bit of the book club, and then they came in. So we don't want our name on the side over there. Make sure I have everyone. Okay, and it is folklore. Hi, Valerie. Yay, you're here. Welcome. Welcome. Yes, it's the Diaper Derby, Deidre. Paula loved that from years ago. She found that years ago, and the other day when she seen it, she's like, we have to do that. So she hurried up, and we rotated the list, and we got back down to Paula. So if someone new comes in, they will get in there for next week. So if you give me something new, and you are new to requesting Subscriber Friday, you move up on the list. Do we suggest more than once? Because I already... Okay, you did the Diaper Derby? Dee, is that what you're saying? Because I didn't see your comment. And our start date was January 8th. 2026, and we don't have an end date. It is a book, no rating yet, and so Winter on the Farm is the summary. And we are on chapter 5. Is Shanika in the house yet? Has anybody seen Shanika? All right, let's see. I'm here. Paula is here. Dee is here. Mimi is here. And Valerie is here. Now, guys, when I ask a question in the book club, when I ask a question, be sure and answer it within the first 1 to 1.5 minutes so that I know you are still in the house. All right, Valerie, Anna. Anna is here. Make sure to answer all the questions. And let's see. Okay, I got myself, Paula, Dee, Mimi. Anna is here. So we are missing Ashley. All right, I'm going to put absent. We'll give them a few more minutes. We have Shanika and Ashley. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, Shanika, there she is. She's in the house. Nice. Are you working today, Shanika? And Ashley is not here. Hello, Diante Cruz. Hello. Welcome to our Wednesday book club. Snow outside, stories inside. Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah. I hope you're all having a great week. If somebody can tag Ashley you can tag her on YouTube too by putting at. Hopefully she'll come in. I'm going to go ahead and write her under absent. It's very important not to be absent. And Shanika put the bar really high because even though she is at work, she attends and listens to the question, and she does very good sentences. So I know Shanika has a good grip on what we're doing. So that is why I am continuing her in writing the book. All right. Yes, Friday is your fun day. You get to play. Yes, diaper derby. All right. Let me close this for a minute. I need to get my paper over here. And that is from the homework today. Where'd I put it? Okay. All right, to start you guys off, I am going to see where you all are at with the book because it's very important. As we continue to write, we follow the mainstream of the chapters that we have already finished. And I am working on getting names for our man and woman, not in the upcoming chapter 6, but chapter 7. We will... Yes, we sure did, didn't we? Well, you'll have to step away from your washing machine, Anna. You'll just have to step away a little bit so you can hear the questions. All right, so this is going to give me a good idea where everyone is at because when we publish a book, I really don't want to make changes to anybody's hard work. And so that is why it's important for me to see where you all are at, including myself. So we have Shanika, D, Mimi, Anna, Valerie, and I'm a little worried about Ashley. I'm not sure if Ashley is going to have time to continue writing. So I'm going to put a question mark by her name. Paula, Shanika, D, Mimi, Anna, Valerie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And TZ, myself. Okay, a few quick questions, guys. There are only 5 of them, so let's get this going so we can read our chapter 5. In chapter 1, what role does winter play in the story? A, it brings celebration and comfort. B, it interrupts routine with sudden danger. C, it settles quietly, shaping mood and memory. D, it immediately forces the characters to leave. In chapter 1, what role does winter play in the story? A, it brings celebration and comfort. B, it interrupts routine with sudden danger. C, it settles quietly, shaping mood and memory. And D, it immediately forces the characters to leave. And let's see. Grandma Paula K says, all right, Valerie says C. Okay, Valerie has C. Shanika, C. Anna, C. Paula, C. And D. Everybody. So Paula said C. D said C. And we are waiting for Mimi's. Let's see. And I say C also. So we need, and did Anna put C also? All right, Mimi, we are waiting on you, honey girl. Get your answer in. All right, and so Mimi is, I'm gonna circle her. Okay, we were waiting for Mimi. Mimi didn't get her answer in. If you said C, you are correct. Yes, it settles quietly, shaping the mood and the memory of the story. Very good, y'all. Paula, can you put some clapping hands there? So, yeah, awesome sauce. All right. We are moving on to 2, and I will wait until Paula gets the clapping hands in there. And we are going to move on to question 2. Don't write your answer before Paula puts the clapping hands in or hearts or whatever she wants to do. Mimi, I did see your answer, hon. Okay. By chapter 2, how has the snowfall changed in meaning? By chapter 2, how has the snowfall changed in meaning? A, it becomes a symbol of renewal. B, it softens the landscape and emotions. C, it limits visibility and conceals what was known. D, it signals the end of hardship. By chapter 2, how has the snowfall changed in meaning? A, it becomes a symbol of renewal. B, it softens the landscape and emotions. C, it limits visibility and conceals what was known. And D, it signals the end of hardship. And yes, I saw that, baby girl. I saw it. You answered. Deidre said C. Okay, D said it is C. It limits visibility and conceals what was known. And Anna said D. D, and we have Paula with C. And Valerie said C. Shanika said B. And well, you know for a fact, Shanika, here's when you're listening to multiple choices. You know for a fact that it does not soften the landscape. You know that. So that would definitely take that out of the running. And there, yes. So what do we know about? Think about what we already know about the landscape. And we are still waiting. Mimi said C. All right. And if you chose C, you are correct. By chapter 2, how has the snowfall changed in meaning? It limits visibility. That we know from the flurries and the monster-like shaped snow that the man saw. And it's concealing what we already know. We know there's something out there, but we don't know what. So it conceals what was known. Good job, everyone. All right. And the she said, goodness gracious, that's right. That's right. You got to listen to the words in multiple choice. I knew you got this, Shanika. I know that. Chapter 3. What creates the strongest sense of tension? Wait until I'm all done, guys. In chapter 3, what creates the strongest sense of tension? A, the arrival of strangers. B, the disappearance of familiar past. C, a spoken argument between the couple. Or D, the return of spring weather. Think back to chapter 2, y'all, when we did the pictures. In chapter 3, what creates the strongest sense of tension? A, the arrivals of strangers. B, the disappearance of familiar paths. C, a spoken argument between the couple. Or D, the return of spring weather. Anna says D. All right. In chapter 3, what creates the strongest sense of tension? A, the arrival of strangers. B, the disappearance of familiar paths. C, a spoken argument between the couple. Or D, the return of spring weather. And Deidre said B. Valerie said B. Shanika said B. Paula said B. Shanika said B. D said B. And Valerie said B. We are waiting on Mimi. B. And if, Mimi, we're waiting. What is your answer? I will put mine in as soon as Mimi puts her answer in. In chapter 3, what creates the strongest sense of tension? A, the arrival of strangers. B, the disappearance of familiar paths. C, a spoken argument between the couple. Or the return of spring weather. If you chose, are you guys ready? If you chose B, B is correct. It is the disappearance of the paths. If you remember, it showed the path with the footprints, and the man could barely see the paths. Go ahead and put the clapping hands in again. All right. And B was our answer. You guys are doing fantastic. Thank you, Anna. Anna did it for you. So this kind of gives me a good idea of how you are absorbing the chapters and the continue writing. And so far, fantastic. Okay, number 4. And Mimi put D. Okay. All right. Chapter 4 emphasizes which emotional shift? A, confidence replacing doubt. B, hope becoming certainty. C, memory and fear overtaking warmth. Or D, isolation giving way to community. Let me read it again. Chapter 4 emphasizes which emotional shift? A, confidence replacing doubt. B, hope becoming certainty. C, memory and fear overtaking warmth. Or D, isolation giving way to community. Put your answers in the chat. Chapter 4 emphasizes which emotional shift? Anna put B. Okay, Anna, B. And Deidre put C. All right, and Shanika said C. And Valerie said C. And Paula said C. So we are waiting on Mimi. Ashley's not here. All right, we are waiting on Mimi. Chapter 4 emphasizes which emotional shift? And she said C. Okay, and if you said C, you are correct. And so that takes us to Anna. She put hope becomes certainty. Now, again, Miss Anna, really listen to the wording, because B was hope becoming certainty. So far in the chapters, they have not had certainty with their hope. But good job. That's only one. That's good job. All right, chapter 5. I need my hand. Okay, Deidre put X's. Let's go with that. Okay, Miss Anna. In chapter 5, what does the man's labor most strongly represent? In chapter 5, what does the man's labor most strongly represent? A, habit without meaning. B, resistance against the storm and uncertainty. C, escape from responsibility. Or D, anger towards the past. In chapter 5, what does the man's labor most strongly represent? Habit without meaning, A. Resistance against the storm and uncertainty, B. And escape from responsibility, C. and anger towards the past, D. Hello, Ashley. Ashley's in the house. I'll mark her down. This could be a tricky one, y'all. So we have Deidre answering with C. Okay, Deidre answered with C. In chapter 5. Now remember, you just wrote chapter 5 in your sentences. In chapter 5, what does the man's labor most strongly represent? A, habit without meaning. B, resistance against the storm and uncertainty. And C, escape from responsibility. Or D, anger towards the past. And we have Valerie with B. B. Valerie said B. And Paula says B. Okay, we are waiting. And Shanika said, I think Shanika said B. So we need Mimi's. And did Anna answer? Mimi said B. So I think, did Valerie answer yet? Let's see, I don't think Valerie's got her answer in there. Anna said C. Okay, we have a couple of C's, and I need Ashley's answer, and I need Mimi's, or not Mimi's, Ashley and just Ashley's. Ashley, we need your answer, honey. B. Ashley said B. Now, Ashley, what I need you to do is go back through when you have a minute later on, watch the questions so that you get a good idea of what the last 5 chapters are. This was a way to tell me where you're at with your writing. And if you chose B, resistance against the storm and uncertainty, that's what our writing was about. So we have D chose C and Anna chose C, which is escape from no. I don't think that he's escaping from his responsibility. I think he has resistance. Not only against the storm, but against uncertainty. Right on, y'all. Very well done. And I will go ahead and review these, and I will send each of you an email. So expect an email. Now, Ashley, when you do yours, go ahead and email me back so that I can catch you up. And I know you got a busy schedule also, but try to make it so that you don't miss out on this important stuff. You changed it to a B. Okay, good for you. Very good. Now I got to share something before we read chapter 5. I had what do you call those? A caricature? I had a caricature done of myself, y'all. And I think it turned out cute. Look at that. Isn't that an awesome character? I love it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks just like me. My little old thin face. And he did give me beautiful hair though, huh? Yeah, isn't that awesome, y'all? I just had to share that. I just thought it was so cool. And I had on my favorite, this used to be my favorite, I have new favorites now, but this used to be my favorite top. I wore it all the time. And I just love my character. I'm going to try to figure out a way to get that in my journal book. All right. Let's move on to chapter 5. We have that. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. Duh. Okay, we got our questions answered. So, tell me up to today, you guys, tell me up to today how you are feeling about writing the book. Let me know your feelings about writing the book. Doubts, fears. I don't want anyone to have anxiety. It's not school. We don't get graded, so I don't want you to have anxiety. If you are feeling anxiety, please let me know so that we can change it to fun. This is about learning, having fun, and growing as a person, and writing a storybook. So just let me know. D says, Queen Bee says, I feel optimistic. Okay, she's kind of in that. Okay, make sure to let me know, Queen Bee, in an email, what makes you feel optimistic. Deidre says, amazing. Paula said, I enjoy writing it. It's a lot of fun. Very good. Yeah, don't be afraid to tell me. I really appreciate that Queen Bee says she feels optimistic, which is okay. That's a good feeling to have. And I would like to have her elaborate on that so we can help her bring it from optimism to let's steam ahead. All right, Anna said, I feel comfortable because I can be creative. Very good. Valerie said, I'm not good at sentences, but I like it. Okay, let's give Valerie a pat on the back. It's not that you're not good at sentences, Valerie. You're unsure. You've never written before, so your unsureness makes you feel that you're not good at it, but you really are. Okay, you are good at it. Remember that. You just let go of your unsurety. Now, Shanika says, I so love the story, especially the characters. Look forward to each chapter. That's how I feel. I look forward to each chapter each and every week. And I love to see the subtle changes the editor makes, because even I make mistakes. So when I put it into the editor and let the editor work for us, it makes subtle changes that I miss. So you don't have to be perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about enjoying it and learning and growing. That's what makes it happy. And yes, it is a learning experience, Queen Bee. That's right. It's a learning experience. So don't think you have to be perfect. Don't let it stress you. Take each week as it comes, write your sentence, and we work on it together. That's what togetherness is. Working on everything together. Yes, Mimi says it makes me feel comfortable to write it. Exactly. Because there should be no pressure. And look how well you all did. I mean, I popped these questions out at you, and I can see very well that you are retaining it. So that is going to benefit you in the future chapters. Feel good to be a part of this group and crafting something beautiful together. Yes, and I am, by the way, still working on the illustrator. I think some people, you know how that goes, they like to gouge financial-wise. So I am looking for an illustrator that isn't going to be about just the bottom line. I want someone who can illustrate and be fair in their pricing for our book. All right. Hi, honey, you done? Did Steve go already? Okay, just lock up. He can relock. Thanks for telling me that. Love you, hon. See you later. All right, chapter 5. As the storm worsened, the man stepped out towards the frozen woodpile, the wind biting harder with each swing of the axe. Chopping wood no longer came easily. The weight of winter resisted him in ways it never had before. From the window, the woman watched, pausing, as though time itself had slowed, even as it continued moving on without her consent. She hovered between belief and doubt, between the hope that change was coming and the fear that whatever arrived might not heal what was breaking. The silence pressed in on her, thick as the falling snow, until it felt alive, watching, waiting, breathing in rhythm with the cold. Sitting alone in the cabin, she's surrounded by more than just winter. Unease settled beside her, shaped like memories she cherished from before the harshness took hold. Outside, the man worked on, his thoughts turning inward. He remembered words she had spoken long ago and wondered if he could still trust their promise that she would always be here. Snow swirled around him in sudden flurries as she continued to watch from inside, her hope narrowing to a single wish for his safety. This winter asked more than endurance. It demanded faith without proof. The man stood steady against uncertainty, carrying belief like a compass that pointed forward even when the path disappeared beneath snow. Inside, his wife stitched tomorrow together in quiet fragments, unaware of whether what she was making would hold or unravel before the season released them. How awesome is that, you guys? What a beautiful, beautiful chapter. That is an awesome chapter. Did you hear your sentence? You see how it's coming together beautifully. You are doing a phenomenal job, y'all. Let's give each other a big hand clap, a pat on the back. You guys are doing phenomenal. That chapter, whoa, that just got me racing to read the next line. So that turned out to be an awesome, awesome chapter. Yes, that's right. Dee gave us our hand clap. You guys deserve it. That is a beautiful chapter 5. And this is going to be one heck of a good book, y'all. All right, let's get our sentences so we can move on to our homework. And I'm going to put a line down the middle of the homework here. Let me turn my page because I need to write. Yeah, I did not have time because I got 4 of the babies done for the race on Friday, and I had some other things to get done. So I did not get to type out everyone's sentences like I did last week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write them on the paper as I help you, and others make changes for you. And then we will get to our homework. All right. The first sentence is Mimi's. Now, Mimi had, oops, why did I turn that over? I need that. Mimi had the one who holds the household together. She had the one who holds the household together. Okay, and her sentence is, the man and woman wonder how long they will be in the cabin. As the snowstorm rages outside, they wonder, you want to put the word they, wonder how long he can last to keep the couple inside the cabin. Hope she can recoil or come to agreement on themselves. That's very good. I already made the new ones, baby girl. That's okay. I already made the new ones, but I still have it. I can use it if you want me to. I can just cut it out. Sure, I can do that. Just send me an email as a reminder so I don't forget you. Yeah, okay, so let's go back to Mimi's sentence. The man and woman wonder how long they will be in the cabin. So she's kind of giving them both their thoughts are aiming towards being able to get out of the cabin. They can't go outside right now. The woman can't help him at all. So that's a good start. So the man and woman wonder how long they will be in the cabin. Okay, the man and woman wonder how long they will be. Now, she had holding the house, the one that holds the house together. So it sounds to me like Mimi is using both. She wants both the man and woman to be in her sentence. It's about both of their feelings, what they're both internally digesting. Awesome, Shanika. So I really like that she put the man and woman wonder how long they will be in the cabin. As the snowstorm rages outside. Love that part. As the snowstorm rages outside. Okay, now this is where we don't want to repeat again that they're inside the cabin. So that we can get rid of. So we can put the man and woman wonder how long they will be in the cabin as the snowstorm rages outside. Okay, now she put hope she can recoil or come to agreement on themselves. That's where I get a little, I don't know your exact meaning, Mimi. Maybe you can put some input into this. You others can do input too if you want. Let's help her with the last of that sentence. We went ahead and took out keeping the couple inside the cabin twice. So she has that in the beginning of her sentence. The man and woman wonder how long they will be in the cabin, comma, as the snowstorm rages outside. Now we have to form, like, because we're going to be going into chapter 7, or yeah, after this. So this is 6. We have to go into 7. So we have to aim it towards, okay. She recoiled at the sound of wind. There you go. Now the wind adds the impact of what is going on outside. She recoiled at the sound of wind. She recoiled at the sound of wind. We can leave it right like that. What do you guys think? Mimi, let me know. What do you think? Blowing around the cabin, causing the drifts to go up. That's very good, Paula. That's very good. But then look how much longer that would be. We already know by the raging storm outside that it's already blowing around the cabin. So here is Mimi's sentence. Let me put her name here. And I love how she did her sentence. And the only thing I'm helping her with is to take out the couple being inside the cabin twice. We already know they're there. We don't need to read it twice. So the man and woman wander too long. How long they will be in the cabin as the snowstorm rages outside. She recoiled at the sound of the wind. What do you think, Mimi? And then you can write that down and it'll help. That is good work. Yes, she did a good job on her sentence. I'm really proud of you, Mimi. You did a great job. All right, let's move on to Deidre's. We're moving on to Deidre's. I'm going to put her name right here. Okay, now Deidre wrote, she had the one who watches the weather. Good. Mimi likes it. Awesome. Deidre had the one who watches the weather. Her eyes were so dry and darting around without control from staring at the dancing, cruel snow. That is very good interpretation of, I could actually see her eyes. Like, I've looked at the blinding white snow before, and it does make your eyes feel like they're going fither-father, you know? So, yeah, I like that. She could just feel an ominous coldness and fear right inside her heart. Not just her hands and feet. Something was out there and getting ever closer. She needed assurance now, but knew he wasn't ready. How awesome is that? You're so welcome, Mimi. Listen to this, the one who watches the weather. Her eyes, meaning the woman, were so dry and darting around without control from staring at the snow. Now, I love this. And I know there are some other words that we can put, darting around without control. There's got to be another word for that. So we are going to check the word only. Word only. Because I really like what she put. So I'm going to check for the word only. She could just feel an ominous coldness and fear right inside her heart. Now there is another word for heart. Rather than using the word heart, it's like your spirit in her soul. We could use the word soul, D, which means all of her, not just her heart, all of her. Something was out there and getting ever closer. She needed assurance now, but knew he wasn't ready. Talking about her husband. I give this sentence a big okay. Anybody else? If you give her a thumbs up, let me know. I love her sentence. I love the description. So we're going to check on the word only for darting around without control. And we are changing heart to soul. And that is all I think it needs. Everybody in agreement? Or do you have something else you would like to input? Anybody? Let me know. That is a good sentence, Deidre. Anybody? Anybody? Anybody else? Give me a thumbs up, y'all, if we're going to move on. Give me a thumbs up if we're moving on. Oh, darn it. Never mind, my comments quit again. Hold on. When I don't see something right away, that's when I know the comments quit. Yes, Shanika also loves the word soul. Okay, we are keeping it. Miss D, good job, girl. Good job. All right, we are moving on to, oops, how did I get Mimi in here twice? All right, we are moving on to Miss Anna. Let me put Anna right here. Okay. Let me figure out, okay, right here. This is Anna's. The man saw the snow, hoping to hear the birds sing, to let him know spring will be here soon. But all he saw was silence. That should be all he heard. All he heard was snow flurries. All he heard was snow flurries, which should be silence, because if there are no bird sounds, there are silence. So he doubted himself that spring would come. Now, Anna had the one who doubts spring will come. Other than a minor word change, the man watched. Saw should be watched. So the man watched the snow, hoping to hear the birds sing. Comma, letting him know spring would be here soon. Comma, but, then you got the but, which takes us, when you put a but in there, that's taking us to another level of uncertainty. But all he heard was silence. Doubting himself, that spring would come. Okay, I'm going to read it again, guys. Any changes? Or if you like the way it is, Anna, let me know. It's your sentence, baby girl. The man watched the snow, hoping to hear the birds sing, comma, letting him know that spring would be here soon. But, comma, all he heard was silence, doubting himself that spring would come. Awesome. You did very well, Anna. That tells me that you are. Even though you thought you needed my help, you did that on your own. You are getting it. Very good. Miss Anna, give her a hand. Does everyone like her sentence? I sure do. Dee did a good job. Anna did a good job. All right, we got the thumbs up. Let's move on to Shanika. This one is Shanika's. The one who endures. Now, Shanika had the one who endures. The man becomes quietly worn, comma, but steady. He's carrying what's broken because someone has to. Now, let's read her sentence again, you guys. And you tell me immediately what goes through your mind reading her sentence. The man becomes quietly worn, comma, but steady, semicolon. He's carrying what's broken because someone has to. What goes through your mind? All right, let's think about this, Shanika. Right now, there is silence between the couple. We know that. They are both struggling in their own areas. So we don't want to make it sound, this is an extremely good sentence, but do we want him in chapter 6 to feel like he has to because she won't? So we definitely want to tweak that just a little bit. The man becomes quietly worn, comma, but steady, semicolon. He's carrying what's broken. I love that because everything is broken to the T. So let's change the second half. So I'm going to put second half, which is not really the second half. I'm going to put ending because almost her whole sentence is unbelievable, but I am going to put end. So let's make it a team. Let's change it somehow. The man becomes quietly worn but steady. He's carrying what's broken. Anybody? Think about it. Shanika, go ahead and try to put something else in there. If you can, that makes it a dual. Yes, I love that word broken too. That was a very... Oh, she said right, the ending got me. Yeah, it's getting me too, girl, because I love the first part. The man becomes quietly worn, but steady. He's carrying what's broken. I got it. Does anybody else? I think I have an ending, but I want someone else to try. It has to do with he becomes quietly worn, but steady. He's carrying what's broken. As his mind wanders to his wife. As his mind wanders to his wife with the burdens of the house, the cabin, with the burdens of the cabin. What do you think, Shanika? Change it? Now I gave you an idea. You can either tweak it or keep it. Let me read it again as one whole sentence, y'all. The man becomes quietly worn, comma, but steady, semicolon. He's carrying what's broken. As his mind wanders to his wife with the burden of the cabin. Any, okay, I got Shanika's okay. Wow, I love it. Very good. So I'm going to put end on here so I know what to put into the editor. So I'm going to make that the end. Yes, and if you come up with any ideas before I put it in the editor, guys, email me and I'll be glad to tweak it and give it to Shanika. I just love the fact it's about both of them. We really don't want him to sound like he's shouldering the whole burden when his poor wife has to do what's inside the house, stack the wood, fire, whatever she's doing. So it's a team effort. We want them to begin talking, and I'm sure that's going to happen here real soon. Okay, we are on Ashley. Ashley's sentence. All right. Ashley says, and she had the one who remembers better days. The one who remembers better days. As the wind whispered through the snow-covered fields, she closed her eyes and clung to memories of warmer days, filled with sunlight, laughter, and a version of herself that had never known this kind of cold or quiet. That's okay, Shanika, that's okay. Yeah, the ending was just cut too short, see? And it kind of left a hanger there that shouldn't have been there. So, yeah, it's a perfect sentence. As the wind whispered through the snow-covered fields, she closed her eyes and clung to memories of warmer days, filled with sunlight, laughter, and a version of herself that she had never known. This kind of, and a version of herself that had never known. We need a comma. We definitely need a comma after herself. That had never known this kind of cold. Do we really need quiet? Because we already know the wind is whispering through the snow-covered fields. So we don't really need the word quiet. And I think the sentence is perfect. Anybody else? I love this sentence. As the wind whispered through the snow-covered fields. Are you leaving, babe? I am. All right, have a safe afternoon. Positivity.
Love you.
You're going to have a positive, great day.
Absolutely.
All right, love you. See you tonight. As the wind whispered through the snow-covered fields, she closed her eyes and clung to memories of warmer days, filled with sunlight, comma, laughter, comma, and a version of herself, comma, that had never known this kind of cold. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Everybody else is thinking so too. We are changing one word, and that is we are taking out quiet because we already know it's whispering through the snow-covered fields. Awesome, 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 Ashley, awesome. All right, let's move on to Miss Paula. Miss Paula's sentence. The man worked on cutting the firewood until he had gotten so exhausted that he had to take 5 minutes, then went back and finished his work and became exhausted again. And he noticed how much of the firewood he had cut. And Paula had the one who works until exhausted. Yes, because we know that the man, definitely know he has the outside work. And we know the wife can't help him. So we know that he is working. The main thing of their warmth is the firewood. So she nailed that right on the head. The firewood is the most important thing that he needs to take care of to keep that cabin warm. So the man worked on cutting firewood. We can take out the word the. We don't need the word the. The man worked on cutting firewood until he had exhausted himself. Until. So until he had exhausted himself. And you see how all the unnecessary words come out of there. Cutting firewood until he had exhausted himself. After a warm 5 minutes, because we don't want him standing out in the freezing snow and cold. He would turn to a popsicle if he's out there in the snow flurries. So you want the reader to know that he did take 5 minutes, which isn't very long when you think about it. So it is an awesome sentence because he needed to get the firewood chopped. So until he had exhausted himself. After a warm 5-minute break, he went back and finished his work. Now we don't need exhausted again because we already know he's exhausted. So after his break, he went back to finish his work. And then you could end that. Tell me how you would end that, Miss Paula. How would you end that? The man worked on cutting firewood until he had exhausted himself. After a warm 5-minute break, he went to finish his work, comma. It was then he saw, no, I don't like that. It was then, what? Anybody want to finish it? Until he was done. Okay, but in your original sentence, you wanted him to be aware of how much firewood he had actually cut. So let's get that in there somehow because I like it. So let's get that in there. Finish his work. It was then he realized the stack of wood he had. The stack of wood he had. The stack of wood he had. Everyone like that? Because I like her original sentence. It was very good. And this tells us that he didn't even realize how much he was cutting until he took his 5-minute break. And when he comes back, yes, correcty, just how much work he had. Exactly. And it's a done deal. Let me get the thumbs up from Miss Paula. Let me read it again. The man worked on cutting firewood until he had exhausted himself. After a warm 5-minute break, he went to finish his work, comma. It was then he realized the stack of wood he had. That is very good sentence, Paula. You all have done phenomenal today. Every one of you, just, you're getting it, and I love it. This is going to be an awesome story, and I'll bet you we're going to have a lot of readers and buy in the book because it is awesome. Y'all are awesome. Okay, we are on Miss Valerie. Okay, Valerie says, now what did Valerie have? She had the one who still hopes quietly. The one who still hopes quietly. She stood by the window watching her husband work in the snow, comma. She wished the snow would stop so she can help her husband to make it less of a burden on him. Okay, let me read that again. Oh, yes, all of you. You bet, Valerie, you bet. She stood by the window watching her husband work in the snow. She could only, meaning there's only one thing she can do. She could only wish the snow would stop. So just a slight word change tells us, and this is why it's important that you guys hear this. I made a slight word change, letting the reader know that she can't do anything. That the only thing she can do, he is outside the window, working in the snowstorm, the snow flurries. She stood by the window, watching her husband work. She could only wish. Now, we only had a wording change. Wish the snow would stop so she could help her husband. And then, comma, and we're going to do another word change to and, make it an and, make it less of a burden. Now, we're going to take out on him because we already know he's the only one the burden is on. So, and, comma, and make it less of a burden. Because during a snowstorm, it is a burden. And you did very good on your sentence. She stood by the window, watching her husband work in the snow, comma. She could only wish the snow would stop so she could change, another word change, could, meaning right now, wish she could help her husband, comma, and make it less of a burden. Give me the okay. Anybody else want to tweak it? Add something? If not, give me the thumbs up. Good job, Valerie. All of you did an awesome job. Every one of you. I am so excited. Of course. Why wouldn't you get copies? You're writing it. We're all authors. We are all the authors. Of course you're going to get a copy. You'll get the manuscript and you will get your copy of the book. You betcha. And any royalties. Now there's 8 of us, so I mean, unless it sells millions, which I'm very optimistic it will. Like Miss Ashley there, I'm being optimistic always. Because so far, it's a heck of a book. Very good, Valerie. That's what I want you to go back and read. before you write. Exactly. Hear the words, and that will help you with your next sentence. So let's get on to homework. Let's get on to homework. All right. Shanika had that one. So let's give Shanika the one who fears what's coming. Shanika, you have the one who fears what's coming. I'm excited too, Dee. And I'll tell you, once I get my hands on a good illustrator that doesn't want an arm and a leg, our illustrations are going to be awesome. All right, Shanika has the one who fears what's coming. Oh yeah, my sentence. Where's my sentence? Hold on, y'all. Hold the fort. I'm going to have to send you... let me check. Maybe that's the one I turned over. Hold on. I might have to email you guys my sentence and get your thumbs up. No, that's Shanika's. That was Mimi's. Now, I know I did my sentence. Hold on, this might be it. No, that's not my sentence. Okay. I'll bet you I forgot to print it out. I'll have to email it to each and every one of you. Please read it. Please read it and get back to me, because I can't do the editor until I hear back from all 7 of you, because I have to know we do it together. So I will email. I got to email my sentence to everyone. All right. Okay, Shanika, you have the one who fears what's coming. Let's give Dee the one who remembers better days. Deidre, you have the one who remembers better days. Yeah, okay, Valerie. We got time, honey. No worries. We got plenty of time. All right. Let's give Paula the one who holds the household together. Paula, you have the one who holds the household together. Miss Anna, you have the one who watches the weather. Now, these are going to be different next week, y'all, because the next chapter is when, the chapter after that is when we are giving them their names. So that takes the curve. And remember that when you're writing your sentence, that they are going to have their names. Okay. And let's see. Valerie, you will have the one who doubts spring will come. The one who doubts spring will come. I have the one who works until exhausted. The one who works until exhausted. And let's see. Mimi will have... I think Mimi will do good at this one. Mimi, you will have the one who endures. The one who endures. And Ashley has the one who still hopes quietly. Okay, let me go over these one more time for everyone. Mimi, you have the one who endures. Dee, you have the one who remembers better days. TZ has the one who works until exhausted. Anna, you have the one who watches the weather. Shanika, you have the one who fears what's coming. Paula, the one who holds the household together. Valerie, the one who doubts spring will come. Ashley, the one who still hopes quietly. And this will be the last chapter of these. As we move on into the next chapter, chapter 7, we will be doing the curve into the names and the changes, and who knows what is coming. I want to thank all my bookish friends and my writers for doing a wonderful, awesome job. I am so proud of all of you and so happy you are my co-writers. What an awesome job. Until then, you all, be happy, stay safe, and keep that positivity. It is going to be a bestseller. Yes, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Booyah. See you then.